Greetings, this is John Joseph Xavier Cihon coming at you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And today we're going to take a look at this Marvel Legends figure from the movie Thor Love and Thunder. Before we do that, if you haven't yet done so, please slap that like button and subscribe. Also, it really does help if you watch the video to the end and then comment to let me know what you think. So those things are greatly appreciated. There are also links to leave a tip as well. So with that out of the way, let's get to it. First of all, I hated the movie Thor Love and Thunder. A lot of people did. That's not a surprise. I liked Ragnarok a lot, the one before it, which was funny. So it wasn't the humor. It just wasn't well done. The CGI just looked really, really bad in places, especially when they're in the black and white dimension. It just looked really fake. And the dramatic plot points sort of seemed at odds with the comedic plot points. They kind of worked against each other for me. So just a very, very mediocre film. Why did I get this figure then, you may ask? I'll tell you why. Because in the 80s, Walt Simonson took over writing and drawing the Mighty Thor for Marvel Comics. And it had been in a holding pattern throughout the 70s, really. It wasn't a must-read title for a lot of people. He took it over, made all kinds of dramatic changes. One of the changes he introduced is he introduced a new look for Thor. And this armor looks a lot like the look Thor had that was introduced by Walt Simonson in the 80s. In the comic, he was cursed by the goddess Hela. His bones became very brittle, so he had to don a battle armor. And this armor is a movie representation of that armor from the 80s. I'm going to put a picture of Walt Simonson's Golden Thor armor on the front page of this video. So the first image you see will be that comic book image. But this is really well done in terms of visualizing it. He had this helmet. He grew a beard too. Thor didn't have a beard in the comics until this time period. And we have the golden armor on his arms. So it's just a really, really cool variant of an era in the comics that I didn't think would ever get an action figure. So we have the cape and typical Marvel Legends articulation. I do like this figure a lot. It comes with an alternate hand that's a fist, but I like him holding the axe. So we're going to stick with the hand that we have. Here's the packaging. Pictures of him in the armor on the side. I think it's the same picture on the back. The other figures in this line. This is the only one I'm probably going to get, though. Especially because everything is going up. These figures, this listed $24.95, which is the price I saw online in a lot of places. So it's definitely more expensive than it was, not cheap. I love this helmet he has on too. Just that golden helmet. It looks so cool. And so I want to talk a little bit more about the film. So spoilers, I figure if you haven't seen the film by now, you're probably not going to see it. It's honestly was one of the most disappointing Marvel movies I've ever seen. Definitely felt like on autopilot. One of the things that really shocked me about that movie is that people were asking for trigger warnings because one of the characters gets cancer and eventually dies. There's scenes of her getting chemo and scenes of her getting sick. And, if people seriously want trigger warnings for that, we just live in an emotionally weak society. I don't know if it's a lot of people. Sometimes people whine online and the numbers seem like they're a lot bigger than they are. If it is a big number, I really just have lost a lot of hope for society. I mean, if you do a trigger warning, you give away a big part of the story. So you kind of spoil the film in a way. I don't think the director wants to do that. And are we at the point where we just can't have anything potentially upsetting, anything heavy in a movie? Is that what we've come to as a society? Do we all need to be warned so we can prepare ourselves because the movie might make us feel things? Um, I mean, this is just really. I hope it's not a big number of people. I do think that the whiners online are a lot louder than the people who could care less about this sort of stuff. So I really hope it's small because if it's not, we are just really going in a bad direction. I mean, if we can't do a movie where something bad happens to a character and people need a trigger warning, that's the death of art. That's the death of cinema. I probably agree with Martin Scorsese. Thor: Love and Thunder is not cinema, but it does have some moments that aspire to be dramatic. And although I feel the director didn't really realize them that well, they're there, and he should be able to do that. I mean, we just, I don't know. Or we just turn it into a bunch of little kids who want everything to be safe. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on the movie. Don't see it. I mean, I saw it though. I really did like Ragnarok. It was really quite a disappointment. So the movie's not great. It gave us this figure, 80s Walt Simonson armored Thor, which is awesome. I love it. And if you need a trigger warning because the character in the movie gets sick and dies of cancer and you're an adult, you're weak. Thank you for watching. Again, slap that like button and subscribe. And I hope you're having a wonderful day.